But I think if we are honest with ourselves, most of us have played with AI, but how many of us have actually planned for AI? So you may have used it on your last vacation photos to make them look better. In fact, maybe even on that vacation, you've used it to translate a menu or to look for directions. You may have asked ChatGPT to write a cover letter for you or even to level up your resume. Maybe you've even created an emoji-filled LinkedIn post like everyone else does. And you'll probably use it today too, to tag yourself because you came to this really cool Untapped Energy meetup. But before doing so, you're gonna touch up the selfie that you took and maybe even generate some caption. And so I see a few of you, you're patting yourself on the back because you feel like you're on the leading edge of this generative wave. But I hate to break it to you. If you've never prompted an LLM in a way where you need to walk away from it and wait for it to do its thing and then come back and get its response, you probably haven't been using the tool to its full potential. Because somewhere in Calgary, and maybe we can see it in these three fine gentlemen here, someone's waking up every morning and they are free associating 13 different deliverables to their LLMs. They leave, they go and finish a David Noggins run, they come back, make some coffee, and then they get their notifications. They've got 13 project deliverables to review. 3 of them get tossed out and get reprompted. 5 of them get feedback that you would normally provide to a highly paid consultant, but 5 of them are actually keepers. Welcome to the age of agentic AI. And if you don't know what agentic AI is, well, hopefully in the next 5 minutes, you'll pay attention. So what I'm going to present tomorrow at this pitch night is actually how companies really need to think about this. So if you happen to be a business owner, or maybe you are in a position where you are advising on strategic decisions that the business should take, I want you to be able to answer this one question. Does your company have a clear sense of the AI skills needed in order for you to win? Okay. Does your company have a clear sense of the AI skills needed in order for you to win? Very likely, you're not going to be hiring someone that's good at playing with AI. Now, there are lots of organizations here in Calgary, including some of the ones that our presenters had mentioned, that are also patting themselves on the back because they have somehow incorporated AI into their organizations. But the reality is they're just playing with AI because a lot of these tools actually come from the same vendors which are providing them with other technology tools. Like they're already using the ERP that SAP is providing to them. It just now has automation or predictive analytics or intelligent decision making. They're already using the CRM that comes from Salesforce that now uses agents. They're already using tools to help them manage their HR through Workday that now has the ability to connect to a skills cloud and the opportunity to onboard digital employees. So it's a great way for SaaS organizations to increase their ARR, that's for sure. But the problem is that this approach does not help to upskill the company's employees in AI in any meaningful way. And all it does is makes these organizations dependent on these vendors. Now, in the keynote, you already heard that AI has the capability of boosting productivity, and there is a bit of a spectrum. Okay, so when you are using assistants or co-pilots, on the one end, they're great at chatbots, search, at creating text, and you might see a productivity boost of maybe 1 to 3 times. But if you keep going along the spectrum and you start using some of the more advanced AI agents and tools, these are the tools that need to think about what they're doing and come back to you in 15 minutes or longer. These tools are capable of deeper and more sophisticated research and reasoning, and they're able to spit out world-class code, as you've seen in the couple of demos that we saw tonight. And here you'll see about 10 to 100 times more productivity that's gained. So which one do you think is more transformative for your company? So your next role will be in coding. Now, regardless of the title that you're going to use when you introduce yourself to whoever is sitting beside you during our networking, your next job is going to be in coding. And if you've just had a bit of an allergic reaction and you vomited in your mouth, that's okay. It may be because you're still trapped in a conventional mindset that is already being disrupted. Now, I'm not talking about spending your entire day in front of a monitor in some dark room, clacking away at the keyboard, coming up with the next killer app. When I say that you need to know coding, you need to know how these things work. Because when they're not producing the desired outcome, you need to know how to best leverage these tools to ensure that your company achieves its mission, its vision, and its strategy to win. You need to know how to discern, because you're going to hear from many, many AI companies and startups that will tell you that you need their particular product, because there's, let's face it, a lot of money to be had. And sadly, a lot of these companies will no longer exist 3 months from now. And you will need to be able to code because you will be leading a team of flesh-bearing employees as well as GPU-bearing digital agents. So this is where this community comes in. I don't know if you know, but Untapped Energy was selected by the government of this province to design and implement an AI literacy program, because they too are thinking about the disruptive nature of this technology, particularly on the future of work and the future workforce. And as you've seen, all it takes is, if you are not careful about how it is that you clean your data, a lot can go wrong and it can be very expensive. And so Untapped Energy is hosting an AI literacy workshop that's happening in the second week of September here at Platform Calgary, because they are one of our partners. And the whole idea is to look for those who are in charge of planning for AI for their organizations. And this could also be you. You may not be in that role yet, but maybe this is a role that you could fit into for your organization. And so the idea is to spend an entire day here with some thought leaders around specific ways that you can start thinking about the future of your organization's AI capabilities. Everything from some AI fundamentals and data literacy to fact-checking and being able to determine and discern if something looks right, to ethics and how it is to implement AI responsibly into your organization. And then finally, everyone that attends will receive an AI strategic roadmap, as well as complete an AI competency maturity inventory. So all the tools that companies need in order to think about how it is that they will be able to thrive and win where they are.